Hey ladies and gentlemen, I'm Andrew from the Bug Out channel, and after 2 years of research and a lot of testing, I have came up with what I believe to be the ultimate bug out bag. Now I understand that when in the discussion of bug out bags, and especially the use of the word ultimate, it's really up to opinion and interpretation, but this is what I believe for myself is the ultimate bug out bag. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to really quickly talk through what's in the bag. So to begin with, the bag itself is a 511 Rush 12, which I've done a previous review of, so look down below in the comments for this video, and there'll be a link if you want to see a review on the bag itself. And just kind of delving in here, I'm just going to jump right into the front pocket of the bag. There's a large emphasis in this bag on the 5 C's of survival, so cutting, container, cordage, cover, and combustion. So let me go ahead and open this up and show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So just looking at the inside of the bag, one of the first C's right off the bat, and there's multiple forms of this, but one of the first things you see off the bat is a Opinel number 8 knife. Now this is a very fine edge knife that I could use for cooking or skinning or fine tasks. I could use this knife. It's very sharp, razor sharp. Next, I've got a Gerber multi-tool. After that, I've got the trusty, this is a Victorinox Hiker Swiss Army knife. Absolutely love these things. This would actually be in the top 10 for ultimate survival items. If you could only pick 1 or 2 or 3 things, this would definitely be a top choice for me. Write in the Rain notebook, pens and pencils, and of course a Sharpie. Right here is a roll of duct tape. This is a Lucy solar powered lantern by Empower, and I've got a review on that just by itself if you're interested. I've got 3, there was 4, I gave one to my daughter. There's 3 glow sticks, 2 green and 1 IR, just in case you're dealing with military. And then I've got a spoon, this just looks like an MRE spoon. I've got 4, is that 4? Yeah. 4 little tent stakes. Sorry, can't think. My brain's kind of going wonky today. On the inside, and this is a really good bag, by the way. If you are interested in this bag, I have a review that kind of explains exactly what's inside the bag. But looking back here, I've got some hand warmers, little first aid, very small first aid kit. Looks like some band-aids and a little bit bigger bandages. Hand warmers, like I mentioned before, hand warmers are very, can come in handy. As you guys know, well, at least at the time that I'm filming this video, it's the winter. So those are good to have. A just cheap emergency poncho, secondary form of staying dry. Looks like, let's see here, that's right, got some wet ones. For those of you who don't know or who have learned the hard way, these are very important to have. Now I don't plan on using this bag for more than 3 days, so this should be enough for 3 days, or at least enough to get me by. But it's important to have something like this. Cheap Mylar blanket. This is cheap, but it's small and it's thin, so it's just a backup to keep myself warm, especially in the winter. You can use this to reflect heat as well onto yourself with a fire. And that's it in the back. Let's see here, turning the bag around. Got another C here, cordage. Quite a bit of 550 cord. It's 2 rolls. So I have about 100 yards of 550 cord in here. This is a clip-on sheath for my SE Izula 2, which I'm going to show you in a second. It's also another C. And then I've got a Sawyer water filter in this side with the flush, the back flush syringe there. These are absolutely awesome water filters. In fact, that's my go-to water filter for all my bug out bags. So if you don't have a water filter and you're looking for something cheap, I believe these are less than $20, and it goes for well over 100,000 gallons. I don't know the exact amount, but it's quite a bit. Let me go ahead and show it to you in case you're interested. So here's a Sawyer. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this before. Absolutely love this thing. And it goes, does it say here? 0.1 microns. So that's pretty darn good. All right, moving right along. Looking at the outside here, I don't put very many things on the outside. The only things I tend to put on the outside are things that I might need to grab quickly. So if you look right here, this is a Olight S10 flashlight. I keep that on the outside of the bag, and it is secured just in case it does unclip. But I want to have quick access to a flashlight. And I have several forms of light in this bag. So this is just a little, I don't even know what it's called, but just a little cheap, got it off of Amazon, little flashlight. I dangle it on here and I can pull it out if I need to, just so I can search through the bag, but I don't have to use my bigger flashlights. And then I keep a large flashlight in case I need to see something farther away. And then I also, on every bag I have, and you'll probably see this quite a bit, but I keep one of my headlamps, and they're normally the Energizers, because I really like the Energizers because they take AAA batteries, they last for quite a while, and they're pretty, inexpensive. But I always keep them attached to the top handle, so in the dark, all I have to do is grab the handle, and I know exactly where the flashlight is. I don't have to dig through the bag. So just if you're looking for ideas on how to pack your bag, that's something to think about. Going around the outside of the bag here, just looking right here. You know what, let me turn around a little bit. Maybe get some better light from this angle. As you can see, I'm doing this with my phone. I keep my old watch. Watch is very important. This is a stopwatch, keeps time. These things last forever. I absolutely love these Timexes. I wore this one for, I think, 3 or 4 years. Quite a while. Keep some D-rings. It's just always good to have D-rings, extra D-rings here. Let me go ahead and pause this video, I'll be right back. Got some extra lighting now. It never hurts to have a little bit extra light. Hopefully the previous part that I just filmed wasn't too dark. I'm sure I'll find a way to make it lighter. Anyways, moving on. So at the top of the 511 Rush 12 is this top pocket. This pocket I keep my more important items that I need to grab quickly. I have my backup, very bright, Cree T6 flashlight. These are very cheap, inexpensive, but very bright. They use AAA batteries, which is why primarily I like them. And in fact, it's a secondary flashlight, but I'll probably go to this before I use the Olight, just because it uses a AAA battery as opposed to a CR123 battery. Anyways, moving on. Have my SEI Zula 2. This is a neck knife in a custom Kydex sheath that I made. This is an absolute fantastic knife. It's 1095 high carbon steel. This is probably my primary knife that I'm going to use for most of my tasks, just because it's a smaller knife that's easy to do, easy to use for smaller wood cutting tasks. Let's see here, moving on. This is my primary fire kit. This is a Clear Creek Trading Post fire kit. Basically, it's got some fat wood, a lighter. It's got a Brillo pad in there, which for those of you who know is a good fire starter. You can also use a 9-volt on it. And then it's got some, let's see, a magnesium fire starter and some candles. It also comes in this waterproof case. I'll put a link to this below just because these guys are awesome and these are pretty inexpensive. If you don't want to build your own kit, you can just buy one of these. I don't know the price, but they're pretty cool. And let's see, what else do I have in here? That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. So, you know, a lot of guys, they go straight to the fire steels, but I'm not exactly sure why, because personally, and I have fire steel in here as a secondary method of fire starting, but I'd much rather just use a Bic lighter as opposed to a fire steel. These things definitely get a fire going quickly. You don't have to worry about, you know, quite as much about tinder. Just go ahead and, you know, strike it, get the fire going. Or not strike it, but light it, get the fire going. It's really easy. I'm not that hardcore that I'm going to use a fire steel in a survival situation if I have a lighter. That just seems silly. It almost seems like it's just people are, you know, just trying to seem, I don't know, more hardcore than they really are. I don't know, or maybe they just don't put the thought into it, but I'm not quite sure what the big deal is on fire steels. I do like them. They are cool because you can use them in the water, or when they're wet, excuse me. But if you can have a lighter, why wouldn't you use a lighter? It just seems silly. Anyways, moving on. That's just my opinion. But I do have a fire steel, like I said, just in case. So here's the large compartment here. Now I have this set up pretty much, it's set up for winter, but because it is a small bag, and by the way, in the discussion of the size of the bag, I took a video of myself weighing myself with and without the bag. This bag weighs approximately 20 pounds. That's everything except water. So I'd say this thing would probably weigh about 22, 23 pounds with water in it. Anyways, moving on. So, looking in the bag, this is what I have. So I said that I have quite a few cutting tools, and cutting is very, very important. So as a primary, and now I do have one additional knife in here, just so you know. It may or may not stay in, and that's this SE Laser Strike. I'm actually testing it, but it is a primary part of the kit right now. But this is my big knife. So this is what I'm going to use if I have to baton or cut larger pieces of wood. I'll use this knife. But it's new to the bag. For chopping, and I recommend everybody uses one of these because they're so cheap. You know, people talk about batoning and cutting wood all the time, but if you can have like an axe or a tomahawk, why wouldn't you bring it with you? So what I bring is, this is a cold steel Trailhawk that I've modified a little bit and put a patina on it. But all I do is I bring the head, and then when I go out into the woods, I fashion a handle, and then you just slide the head onto the handle that you made. It takes like 5 minutes. That way I don't have to worry about carrying a handle. Pretty cool. So now I can chop down branches and stuff, and I don't have to worry about dulling my knives. Not sure why a lot of people don't do this, but this is what I'm doing right now, and it works really well. Just riding in a custom kydex sheath that I've made. Moving on. So I do have, this is a SOL Bivy Escape. It's a cold weather bivy. But basically, it's a really light, waterproof sleeping system that basically uses, it's like a space blanket, but thicker and waterproof. This is just going to be used as a shell for myself. So it's a way to kind of stay dry and stay warm. But my primary method of staying warm is this brand new. I haven't used it yet, so if it sucks, you know, don't say, oh, well, the Bug Out channel told me to buy it. But I have heard good reviews about this, so I've stuck it in my bag as a way to stay warm. It is a Snug Pack jungle blanket. Very small. I have opened this and gotten into it in the cold. I just haven't used it in real life yet, like overnight. But it's like a poncho liner, except for better and newer and semi-water resistant, and it has heat reflection stuff built into it. So I'm thinking between this, and if I can reach it, these two, this is my sleep system. So these two with the shelter that I'm going to build with something I'm going to show you here in a minute should keep me warm as long as I have a fire in pretty darn cold weather. Next, I do keep a hammock. Primarily because a hammock's always good to have. It weighs almost nothing. This thing can shrink down to next to nothing. And if it's a little warmer outside, I'd much rather sleep in a hammock than sleep on the ground. So I have this just in case. I can also use this as insulation or to assist in shelter building as well. Or whatever I need for it. I can use that, the fabric if I had to. Next, this is my primary like medium-sized knife. This is a Mora Bushcraft. Comes with a diamond knife sharpener and the ferro rod. This is probably one of my top 3 favorite knives ever. Mainly because of the price. The sheath's awesome, comes with all these extra things. It's high carbon steel, it comes razor sharp. Sharpening it takes like 20 seconds and it gets right back to razor sharp really easily. I absolutely love it. So there you have it. If you're looking for a knife that you want a cheaper knife that you can put your life on, I'd go with this. So, and I'm pretty sure Dave Canterbury recommends these as well, if you're going for a little bit cheaper. So just something to look at. Awesome. Moving on. This is my Baco folding saw. I keep these in every bag. If you don't have a folding saw and you're expecting to do any kind of bushcraft tasks, good luck. So as I've learned the hard way, as you can see, I've used this quite a bit. You should probably keep some kind of a folding saw. This is an inexpensive, smaller version that you could take down, small to medium-sized trees with if you had to. So it's good to have. You could take that, and between the knives and that saw and the tomahawk, And you could build yourself a pretty semi-permanent structure. And then you just use that 550 cord. Next, I do keep an extra piece of fat wood, and this is just a nice piece of cedar. If I need some dry tinder, I just have it right there. It's light, fairly small. Moving right along. I have, now this is in fact, this is one of the first times it's been on camera, but this is a Blackthorn USA water bottle. I believe they run about $25, which is pretty similar in price to some of the other stainless steel water bottles, but this one actually is just as strong, but a little bit thinner. It boils quicker. This one came with a really nice lid that has a compass on it, and also the lid uses the threading that Nalgene bottles use. So if you have a Nalgene attachment or a water filter, you can just plug it right onto this thing and use it. It's absolutely awesome. Inside of here, I just have a few, opening this thing up here just so you guys can see exactly what I have. I'm doing it one-handed because I'm actually just using my phone here. So what I have in here is, they don't want to come out, these. These are called New Millennium Energy Bars. Basically, they last like 5 years, and it's like a bar that comes, it's basically just straight protein and carbs and sugar, and it's energy. These will pretty much keep you alive. It's not the best thing to eat in the world, but it comes in this Mylar air-sealed bag, lasts for a long time. You can just keep in your bag. I believe I have 4 or 5 of them inside of this water container here. Now, I know I probably will get a little bit of flack because people say you should keep water in your kit, and I agree. But this is just, it's saving space for me right now. And everywhere I go with this bag, I also keep a case of water. So the idea is when I'm using the bag, I'm going to grab water before I leave. Water will just go in the extra compartment inside of the bag or inside of the canteen, and in which case I'll put the bars in the bag and I'll roll out. That's the plan for now. It's just a thought, you know, I'm still working on it, but I am keeping the bars in here for now. Anyways, moving on. This is just a little stainless steel cup. Slides right underneath that to save space. I keep these guides just in case I run out of food. Medical plants, edible wild plants, and mushrooms. I am not an expert on this, and I really hope I never have to rely on these guides. But they are very awesome guides. They show you pictures of exactly what everything is. The poisonous, the edible, how to cook them, all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested, check these out. I'll try to put a link to these below. They're very thin and weigh next to nothing. If you're starving, that might come in handy if you don't know how to find food. Keep a solar charger, primarily because I also have a phone that uses my GPS app, Military Survival GPS. Always keep a map. This is my primary form of navigation. And then a little folding stove. I can't remember who makes this. Let's see here. Doesn't say. It's just basically one of those metal folding stoves that you can click together. If I figure out who makes it, I'll put a link to it below, or maybe even on the video. But they're handy because they're thin. You can start a fire. You feed the wood inside the middle of this. It basically turns into a square. You feed the wood into it, and then you can set stuff on top of it. There's my Energizer headlamp. I think that's everything. And we'll continue on here. I'm taking a little bit longer than I expected, so I'm just going to speed up a little bit here. Inside here, I keep Gorilla Tape, snare wire. That's military snare wire. I think I got it at a gun show. One N95 mask. I usually keep 2, but one of them's in my car right now. This is an old cell phone that uses my Military Survival GPS app. Basically, the idea behind this is that I always have a grid. Whatever kind of grid you like to use, MGRS, lat long, whatever. It can give you a grid. I've got my waypoint set to my house and to my cache and stuff. And I just follow the phone and the compass to the location I'm trying to go. Doesn't require internet to use it, so absolutely awesome. If you haven't checked it out, it's Military Survival GPS. It's on the App Store for Android and for Apple iPhone, so check it out. Cable. This is a little stove using these. It's a Esbit, I think, or Ez something. I don't really know. I don't really like it. In fact, this probably will come out of the kit. But I like these little tabs because it helps to start a fire. They do burn pretty hot. I did have issues burning water in the I think it was about 20 degrees when I was, maybe it was 15 degrees when I was boiling water. And I had some issues boiling water with these tabs. So that was just me, but don't trust your life on these unless you tested them. I have, and it didn't really work very well. I keep a bag of batteries and then an extra little mini headlamp here. I believe this is a Petzl headlamp. And I don't know how many of each, but probably double what I would need. AAA and AA's. Toothbrush, toothpaste. Up here I keep sewing kits. This is super glue, looks like one of those fire things, and then some matches. Vaseline cotton balls. Little jute twine. This is great tinder, excuse me. This is great tinder. Can opener. A candle to stay warm. This is my favorite knife sharpener. This is Camillus Glide. Really want to have a knife sharpener in all your kits. Secondary knife sharpener, just because I forgot to take it out. Also a very good one. Chapstick, some more matches. This is a pill pack. Motrin, anti-diarrheal, caffeine pills, and I've got them all labeled on the outside there. There's actually 7 or 8 different types of pills in there. And this is dryer lint, also good tinder. Keep it dry and it works great, and it's free. So if you're doing laundry, just pull it out of the dryer as you need it. And you could probably put Vaseline in this too, and it would do very well. So that looks like about it for the inside of the bag. Just really quickly now, I'll go into, let me close the bag up real quick, and I'll go into the 2 last compartments. On the top, what I have is the container for my Sawyer Mini. It's just another place to store water. And I keep earplugs in there, because if I'm shooting guns, I want to try to retain my hearing. Last but not least is the back of the bag. And back here, all I keep is, I think there's 2 things. Yeah, I keep a metal saw that you could use to cut metal if you had to, or anything. And then an all-weather blanket. This is my primary shelter that I will use or my primary form of shelter building for cover. And there you have it, folks. That's my bug out bag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Like I said, it's approximately 20 pounds, and it's absolutely awesome. So I'm Andrew from the Bug Out channel. Thanks for watching, and please be sure to subscribe. Catch you later. Bye.